Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the grayscale trust and the markets a little bit. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so Bitcoin does appear to have pulled back slightly from where it initially popped off to 109,000. Not sure how this is going to end exactly. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm pretty confident that Bitcoin's probably going to be moving higher because it's been moving mostly sideways for quite some time now. Without a breakdown, which usually indicates a pullback in time. And in this case, that is with this particular setup above the EMAs and above support, that is a bullish setup. Now, in terms of the NASDAQ, we did have a slight pullback after the Netflix earnings. That's kind of to be expected. We have more big earnings next week. But I mean, the reality is we did just have 3 green days in a row. So a slight pullback wouldn't really be all that much of a shock. Again, retesting support and then boom, taking off to the upside. That's kind of what I'm expecting here. But the reality is we are in a series of higher highs and higher lows. So NASDAQ's looking really good at this point. And in terms of Trump and the strategic Bitcoin reserve, I have not seen anything specific on that yet. I will tell you guys this. So one of the many executive orders that Trump did on I'm assuming it's on day one, was I believe among those was an executive order for him to free, I believe his name is Ross Ulbricht, I think is how you say it, the founder of Silk Road, one of the places that you could have originally bought Bitcoin back in 2013-ish, 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. So he got released from his sentencing. Again, I don't know all the details of that. You guys will have to look that up in your own time, and you can verify this for yourself, of course. But the point I want to make about this is that Trump made a statement that I think has really stuck with the people, which is promises made, promises kept. So when Trump said that he's likely, or not likely, that he is going to create a Bitcoin national stockpile to put the U.S. at the forefront of crypto as the number one power player in the world in terms of Bitcoin holdings and so on, I am expecting him to do exactly that. Okay. So I have a lot of confidence in what the president has said that he's going to do. So now with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the trusts. And again, I know that, you guys, everybody's like all salty and stuff that they haven't gone anywhere. Oh, the price is not going anywhere. Well, there's a lot of things that the price is not going anywhere on yet, believe it or not. Don't feel bad. Okay. EVgo, AMC, they haven't gone anywhere yet. Doesn't mean they're not going to. Excuse me. It may just take a little bit longer. Okay. CLSK hasn't, it's gone up a little bit, but it hasn't really gone anywhere yet. Mainly just sideways. Riot, Mara. Sometimes these things take just a little bit longer than expected. It's hard to say exactly how long, but eventually we should see some upsides. So anyways, so nice long wick here off of the bottom of this channel. This is a very bullish sign. I'd like to see this weekly candle turn into a green candle. That would give me a great deal more confidence in the potential of a move going up here. So buy zone still between 12 to 18 here. Targets, immediate targets 27 to 56. We'd be looking at somewhere between 75 to 135. Above and beyond that for about a 330% gain. You guys will have to excuse me. I'm actually quite exhausted tonight. I've had a very, very long day. So doing what I can here for y'all. BCHG still sitting on this macro trend line here. Still looks good. So the buy area for this probably somewhere around 4.25, 4.5, somewhere in there with targets. I would say maybe targets ranging probably in this area, right about 11 going up to about 24, 25, somewhere in there. You do also have, 465% gain in this case. You do also have an inverse head and shoulders here, possibly playing out. This actually, as a matter of fact, instead of, let's see if I can get it here. Instead of that being the shoulder right there, this could actually be the shoulder. That's always a possibility. Sometimes the charts will do that. It's not very common, but it does happen. So regardless, the target would still be about 15.25 on this one. So HZEN, we still don't yet know if it's going to close above structure or not. So anywhere from this EMA, which is also the top of the support here at 430, going to 510 for potential buy area targets, 830 up to roughly about 12.5 on this one for about 180% gain. ETCG, again, the support zone here, 930 to about 1330. Targets, I would say probably about 18 to 20, 1850 to 20, somewhere in there. For this one, 115% gain. Again, we're above the EMAs, but we got to get above this white line and start pushing up. Break above this 1710 after that to really start to get moving, and even above this kind of, I would say probably a candle close, at least above 1780, 18, somewhere in there to really start seeing some serious upside. Okay, so you have a cup and handle within a cup and handle. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see it, but this is the cup and handle right there. It's a very small one compared to the other bigger one, but nonetheless, it is a pretty large target nonetheless. Okay, so the big one is 53. The big one's 53. The smaller size one, which is right here, the target for that 72. And then, of course, if this is a bull flag, the target would be 42. And if it's a descending channel, the target would be 34. So either way, no matter how you want to slice it, it is higher than the current price. I'd still say the buy zone anywhere between 23.50 to about 28.50 on this one. You guys can kind of pick whichever target you think it's going to hit. I'm just throwing the possibilities out here. So 210% gain, GBAT. So I would say probably the top of the support, $5 roughly about, could be a good area to pick some up, with targets going up to about 10 to 33 for about 586% gain. I did also notice, again, this is not what I would want to see for a cup and handle. Cup and handle looks more like this, but you could actually draw it like this. But I'm not going to do that. So because of the fact that it would look like that, I'm actually going to negate it and say that's not likely going to be a cup and handle pattern. But those of you guys that want to get familiar with TA may want to consider starting to look at charts like this and just consider that these patterns can literally pop up anywhere. Okay, so FILG 32 to 44 here for the buy area targets. I'd be looking pretty much at the all-time highs at this point, so 400 for the all-time highs. There's really only one stopping point in between there, and that's right about that kind of 120 to 40 area. 1,165% gain on this. GLIV, again, another inverse head and shoulders. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. The neckline has to be broken at 19. The target would be 31. It's currently in the support zone, which is about 12 to 1470, and the target in this case would be 80, unless you want to sell for a smaller profit. That's up to you, for about 590% gain. Okay, G-Link. So 65 to 85 here for the buy area target would be all the way up at 220. Again, there's not really a whole lot going on in between there. I mean, your next level is right around 160, so I mean, there's not really much of a difference between 160 and 220. I mean, it's a $60 difference. I mean, it would literally take, let's see, where's the price currently? Yeah, $60 would basically get us up to this first level here. So it's not really that big of a move. So 257% gain. GSOL looks like it's slowly starting to bleed up, which again does happen. You can see this kind of slow, very sluggish move here to the upside. Not a move that I would ever want to short, because usually when you get these slow, sluggish moves to the upside, there's usually a pretty massive explosion up coming shortly after that. Okay, so GSOL here, buy zone 16 to 24 still, or 22, whichever you prefer. I do still think it's going to stick above that $20 area. Targets I'd be looking at about, let's see if I can find it, 80 to about 115 here for as much as a 650% gain. All right, GXLM. So we're pushing against the highs here, trying to break that resistance. I think it is going to happen at some point, probably sooner rather than later. So 36 to 45 here for the buy area if you get another chance to buy it, with I would say this upper area here is 74 to 97 for the targets. So as little as 100, well, yeah, basically it'd be about 170% move in this case. Yeah, excuse me, y'all. I'm really tired tonight. Okay, so mana, the buy zone is still between 10 and 20. And the target would be all the way up at 70. We will be going over the macro on these trusts probably maybe tomorrow by the time you guys see this, or perhaps on Friday, but we will go over it because I think it's going to become relevant as we get closer to the end of January. I suspect we're going to start getting the next massive leg up in crypto. I'm pretty confident that's going to happen. So 635% gain here. Zcash, I'd be looking for probably the bottom of the green box, so 430 to about 630 for the potential buy area, and the target's going 960 to about 1050 on this one. And the reason why, so 137% on this one, the reason why I say it could possibly go down to the green is because it could kind of wick down maybe and then pop back up immediately. Believe it or not, that's very common. It does happen in markets. You can see it back here. Even a little bit back here and back here. It's very common for it to do something like that, to kind of wick below the EMAs and then eventually pop back up. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.